Hi guys, this is GSM.com and I'm here with the Nokia Asha 303 or the 303 if you want to call it that way. It's one of the low-end-ish phones that was unveiled at the Nokia World last year, and it has some nice features that you won't find in low-end handsets. This is an S40 platform device that's pretty thick, but it's pretty light, and it doesn't have outstanding OS, but it still does its job very well. It combines the touch and type experience, and now let's check out the design. For one thing, this device is 13.9mm thick, so it's twice as thick as the thinnest smartphone in the world. It weighs 99 grams, so it's light. Its display is a 2.6-inch unit, as you can see right here. The resolution is 320 over 240 pixels. It also has a 4-row QWERTY keyboard. That's pretty comfortable to use even if you have big fingers. There are also these 4 buttons, physical buttons below the display that you can press. There is the call button with the dialer, you can see right here. The end call button, there is a button for messaging that triggers messaging shortcuts, and there is a button for the music feature that triggers the music. As far as design goes, on the left side we have nothing. On the right side we have the volume button right here and the lock button here. Nothing at the bottom. At the top we have the audio jack, micro USB cable and the charging port, micro USB port, sorry, and the charging port. And that's about it. Let's close down Facebook for a while. Okay, so as I said, we have a QWERTY keyboard that's comfortable to use. Other feature you must know is that you have a micro SD card slot on this device. It comes bundled with a 2GB card. It also has 170 megabytes internal memory, 256 megabytes of ROM, and 128 megabytes of RAM. In case you're wondering, there is a 1 GHz CPU inside, a very big CPU for a low-end phone if you ask me. On the connectivity side we have HSDPA reaching 10 megabytes per second. We also have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 2.1, USB of course. We have stereo FM radio. We don't have a GPS, in case you're wondering about that, so we'll have to do with cell tower pinpointing. At the back we have a 3.2 megapixel camera without flash. It has a fixed focus, face detection and a VGA 15 frame per second capture. The battery inside this device is a lithium-ion unit, 1300 mAh. It should provide about 8 hours of talk time and about, I don't know, 2 days of use from this handset. So if it's a low-end device, you won't use up too much battery. As I said, this is the Nokia S40 platform, and it still knows some gestures. There's no home screens to swipe between, but if you do swipe, let's see what happens. Once you swipe, you enter the gallery. So let's swipe to the left, and here we are with the gallery. Now let's see what happens when you swipe to the right. It opens the apps and games section, so that's pretty cool if you ask me. Okay, enough with the swiping. The main menu can be customized by changing the shortcuts around, changing what was displayed on the screen. As you can see, we have here the personalized view. You can select what apps to put in here. You can also change the home screen settings. Here's the widgets that you can attach to the screen. We have the clock, the favorite contacts, social, shortcut bar, and more. So as you can see right here, I have 4 shortcuts. So for example, if I click on this person, I can call him instantly, send a message, send mail, internet call, or go to web. Under that I have the social widget that shows me what's happening on Facebook, and below that we have the browser, the chat, the Nokia store, and the camera for quick access. There's also a profile area, so if I tap the screen, I trigger the profiles: general, silent, meeting, outdoor, and my style. So it's all very cool. Okay, let's see what else we have in here. I must mention that this is a quad band GSM phone. It's also a pentaband 3G phone, and the keyboard is backlit, as you probably have figured out already. It is very nice to use even in the dark. This phone is advertised by the fact that it comes with Angry Birds installed, so you'll find it in the apps and games section. Here it is, Angry Birds. It's only a light version with 15 levels. You can download the full one from the Nokia store if you want to. And now let's move on to the multimedia features. So let's start with music, see how the player handles and how the speaker can handle the pressure. Let's turn up the volume a bit. Pretty powerful speaker. Okay, you get the idea, a very powerful volume, so that's good as usual for Nokia. We also have very good call of quality, in case you're wondering, so that problem is taken care of as well. And now let's go to the video playback. I have a tiny sample of a movie that you'll see immediately. Yeah, here we are. It's that movie with Colin Farrell, with vampires, Fright Night. There's no way to watch a movie on this tiny display. Let's try full screen. Maybe this works out better for you. This is also the way that you play Angry Birds in landscape orientation, so to say. The colors feel a bit washed out. And every time you want to copy a movie from your computer to this device, you have to convert it, convert the file. Okay, I stopped the media player. And now, since in the multimedia section, let's try out the camera. So let's start it, use this little fellow, capture it. The capture is pretty fast, I'll give you that. And let's try to zoom in a bit, see our results. It's pretty decent. Don't expect much from this camera, it's still a 3.2 megapixel camera, so you can't want too much from it. Let's see what the options are. We have frames, my photos, some effects, quite a few effects, negative, sepia, normal, grayscale. There is also the option for video capture, white balance, self-timer, sequence, exposure, grid, a bunch of settings. The photo size you can see right here, photo storage, album, camera sounds and whatnot. One thing I must mention, that since this is a S40 device, I will keep having to press exit and back. It has no multitasking at all, so if you want that, you're out of luck. Okay, since we're done with the multimedia section, we'll go to the socializing area. I have here Nokia Social. I just entered the widget and now it's showing my Facebook account and what's happening here. Here's what the people are saying on Facebook. It's a basic experience, as good as it gets on such a small screen. We also have at the top the messages, the contacts and the events, and here an option area with the refresh, messaging, search, events, friends, requests, settings, logout and about. Okay, there's also Twitter in the same Nokia Social area. I can see the tweets of the people I'm friends with. And also I can see the mentions I have. Also I can take a picture, I can tweet something if I want to. So that's done. So social networking is available. You also can log into your accounts for Orkut and Flickr if you want to. And here's the dialer. If you're wondering, this is how you call someone. Let's see what else we have here. Of course, it's time to show you the browser. The stock browser on this device is the Nokia browser. It's not much, but we have to deal with it. Let's load gsndown.com. I also installed Opera Mini for a better experience. It's taking a while to load, as you can see. hopefully it will load. The device has some problems when connecting to the Wi-Fi network and using the 3G at the same time. It has trouble switching between them. And here we are on gsndom.com. Try to zoom in a bit. I can see the text. It's a pretty hard to view experience, but if you want a low-end phone for merely 200 or less than 200 euros, 150 euros, then that's the price you pay for low price. Okay, so as I said, this is the browser, and here you have some options for the browser. You have start page, you have some tools, feedback, exit. Here are the tools. You have column view, settings, data usage, help, and about. So that's all with the browser. And as I said, you can always rely on Opera Mini. I just installed it, and frankly it does a better job in the web browsing area. So for example, let's try to load BBC, see how it behaves. As you see, I'm doing a lot of typing and pressing using the screen, not using the keyboard as much, but rest assured that the keyboard is usable. This is the way that you close all apps. You press the end call button and you simply select close application and you're all done. There is a messaging section, as I said. You can even chat with people. You can chat on Facebook, chat on Yahoo Messenger, or any other service that you use. There's also a Nokia store, but most of the apps here won't necessarily work because they want a superior device. So here we are with Nokia store with some of the apps that are available. There's also a category section, games, audio and video, personalization. I downloaded a few of my own, you see them a bit later. In the meantime, we also have a calendar here, and I've scheduled the Mobile World Congress event from next month, something to keep an eye on. I also have a list of contacts here with their names. I can call them, text them, set a business card, do an internet call and whatnot. I can synchronize my accounts. I also have Nokia Maps, but as I said, this one rather relies on cell phone tower triangling and not so much on GPS because the phone doesn't have a GPS. There's also the messaging section, so I can create a message. So let's say if I try to say, you can see that I'm typing pretty fast and not so many mistakes. Okay, it saved my message to the drafts. Let's go back. We have the photo section, so if you're curious to see the gallery, here we are. That's how a gallery looks like. Nothing fancy, simplistic phone, a low-end phone. There's also the settings section with profiles, themes, tones, lights, display, connectivity, call, device, accessories, and a ton of features, to be honest. There's also the internet that you already saw, email. I configured a Gmail account, and you can also configure a Yahoo account if you want to. There's also the chat section, and on the application side we have alarm clock, calculator, gallery, voice recorder, to-do list, notes, countdown timer, stopwatch. We have a dictionary, and finally we have the apps that I have installed. First up, we have Angry Birds that comes with the phone. There's a nifty little sticker on the front side of the phone letting you know that we have Angry Birds available. We have Shazam. So enough with the talking. Let's first try a more serious app. It's called Guitar Addict. So if you're into guitar, this one offers you a fretboard player, so you can see all the chords. Here's a collection of chords that you can select. It shows you each chord on the fretboard, how they're placed. We also have some scales. Here are the scales. We also have a metronome that's very useful when trying to set a certain beat to a song. So if you're trying to compose something, it's very nice. There's also a looper. You can select a file, turn up the volume. Very nice guitar training application. And some other interesting application. There's one with climate change that comes with the phone. It's very nice. You save plankton. Here we are. You can select locations from all over the world. Let's select Stockholm. We have paper recycling. You can simply drag waste around, like in a game. So I selected quit. Let's try another task in some other part. Let's select the Caspian Sea. Here you have to take care of the plankton. You must be careful so the plankton won't die. This is an ecology app, so it works pretty nicely. And finally there's the selling point. There's Angry Birds. Probably the cheapest way to play this game on this cheap phone. It has a bit of lag and it sounds a bit repetitive at times. The sounds tend to sound, I don't know, like MIDIs. It doesn't sound like the original Angry Birds. Let's try one more. You saw that bit of lag earlier. Okay. So anyway, I saw in the Nokia store that there are a lot of applications for the Mexican market, Egyptian, Indian market, so emerging countries where low-end phones with cheap prices are very appreciated, like this model. As I have said, about 150 euros or so. So if you want a conversion, about $200 and a bit more, that's what you pay for this phone. It has Facebook, it has a camera that's, well, it's a camera. It doesn't have much, it doesn't have autofocus, it doesn't have LED flash, but it's still there. The quality of the calls is very good, the battery is good, you can download a couple of apps and have fun with them. You saw the Opera Mini, I thought that the browsing was decent. You can also chat on Yahoo Messenger, so all your basic needs will be met by this low-end phone. I find it to be pretty good and I give it a 7 out of 10. This is gsndon.com, hope to read the review. I'll be back in a couple of days with more phones and reviews. Bye bye.